Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight. So the webinar tonight is the 4 key skills to take charge of your life. Just letting you know, it is recorded. It goes onto YouTube just because some people want to watch it afterwards or they're in another time zone and can't watch it. So it will be uploaded, but don't worry, you won't be, all over YouTube for just the sake of it. It's just on the Silva Method YouTube page. Okay, so tonight, the 4 key skills that I want to talk about are really based on the Silva Method. Some of you know the Silva Method, some of you don't. Just in general terms, it's a personal development program. It's a 4-day dynamic meditation program. And just very briefly, the reason that I train this program today and what I bring to the program is about 10 years ago, my life was in the most difficult and challenging place it had ever been. I couldn't see a way out. I was so unhappy. I was unhealthy. I was sick. I was doing badly at work. I lost all my self-confidence. I felt like a failure. I couldn't sleep. I was stressed. I was stressed so much that it actually developed a kind of permanent feeling inside me, almost like anxiety, or it was anxiety, I'm not sure. And I had so many personal development programs, but nothing at that stage could just get me out of that place. And one night I was just desperate. The word sick and tired is literal. I was sick, really, literally sick. And I was exhausted mentally, emotionally, and physically of just being in this bad place and not being well. And somehow I was blessed enough to land up on the Silva Method website, and I came across the Silva Method. So at that stage, I read someone's review, and it sounded exactly like my own story. And this guy said that he was doing so badly at work, he thought he was going to be fired. And he did the Silva Method, and 6 months later, he became top salesperson. So I thought, I don't care what this program costs, I'm going to do it. And I did first the home study program, and I just practiced every day the meditations. I was listening to things like this webinar tonight, continuous input from the Silva Method, all the teachings, all the learnings. And 5 months later, everything in my life had come right. It turned around. My health was back on track 100%, and I was sick for about 18 months. No doctor could sort me out. I came back to perfect health. My confidence came back. I did become a top salesperson. I stayed like that until I left the company about 3 or 4 years later. Everything worked out for me. So I was so inspired by this amazing turnaround that I wrote to Silva International and said, I can't find a live training program in Australia. It would be my dream to teach this to others, how it's changed my life. And long story short, that's what I'm doing today. I'm the only trainer in Australia. So the Silva Method, I have to say, is the oldest personal development program. It's been around for the longest time. I'll talk a little bit more about it later. But let's talk about these 4 key skills now. These 4 key skills, I have to say, are timeless. They apply in any culture, any country, any era, and they will always apply. Any industry, any kind of, as I said, culture, country, doesn't matter. So this that I'm going to share with you is probably the tip of the iceberg. It's about 2 to 3% of what's in the actual Silva 4-day program, but I do guarantee you 2 things. One is you will leave here tonight with some practical tips that you'll be able to apply in your life. And if you do that, which is my real wish, is that you apply something that you hear tonight in your life straight away, your life will get better and better. Any one of the things I share with you. And the second guarantee I give you is that I'll give you a bit of insight towards the end as to more about the Silva Method, what's actually in the program, what it costs, how you can do it if you want to do it, and so forth. Okay. Hi, Jayanti, welcome. So we've got Jayanti here as well. I hope you can hear me because I can't hear you, but just hello. And if you do come on with your microphone, just say hello so I know that you can hear me. All right, so here are the 4 key skills. The first one is how to stay calm and focused, even under pressure. So this is really about managing and reducing stress. And this is skill number 1, because I have to say, it's the foundation. If we cannot manage stress, nothing else that you do in your life is actually going to work. So you could do personal development programs and read books and have more knowledge. You could have all the knowledge under the sun. But if you can't manage stress, you can't actually apply it, because nothing really works. When you're stressed, it affects everything. It affects your sleep, your concentration, your relationships, your health, your digestion. It affects your intuition. You don't have any. It affects your energy levels. The list goes on and on. So that's the first skill. And just be aware, if there's only one of them that you remember tonight, let it be the first one. Managing and reducing stress, knowing how to stay calm and focused, even when there's pressure on you, is got to be the greatest skill you could ever develop, because you'll always be switched on and in a focused manner be able to handle whatever's in front of you. The next one is have clearly defined goals. Now that may sound very obvious, and you may say, oh, I knew that. I didn't have to get on this webinar to know I should have clearly defined goals. However, statistics show that if you ask 100 people, what do you really want out of life? 98% cannot actually answer you straight away. They'll say something vague like happiness, or more money, or better health, or freedom, or relationships, but they don't actually know exactly what they want. So getting clear is the first step, because wishy-washy goals give wishy-washy outcomes. So we do need to get clear on our goals is the first thing. And I'm going to give you a technique that you can use. It's different to being wide awake, eyes open, writing goals down. And it really does work. It's highly effective if you do it exactly the way it's suggested. So I'll get to that a bit later. And then how to achieve your goals faster. Everybody wants that. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Number 3 is huge. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs. Everyone's got self-limiting beliefs. The thing is, we're not aware of them. So our self-limiting beliefs are in our subconscious mind, which means sub, below, conscious, level of awareness, below our level of awareness, and they keep us stuck in certain areas of our life. So think about your life, and if there's any area of your life that you potentially have wanted improvement or change or better results, and it just has been prolonged, this feeling, and you haven't really got them, all I can say, somewhere in there's probably a limiting belief that's holding you back and keeping you stuck. So I'm going to show you a simple way of how you can become aware, because awareness is the first step to change. Aware of what is a limiting belief in your life. And secondly, how you can actually overwrite it and overcome it. And then last but not least, how do we make better decisions and recognize the right opportunities for us in our life? Decision making is a key ingredient for success. It is so important to be able to make decisions quickly, decisively, not change them. It's a sign of successful people. Unsuccessful people are very indecisive and they keep changing their mind. So making better decisions is a skill, and you can learn that. And I'm going to show you what's the pathway to making better decisions, to actually be improved in your decision making, and also how to recognize the right opportunities, because we have a lot of things happening in our life and opportunities come past us probably every day, something, but we don't go for some, and some we miss and some we do. How do we know that the right thing for us? And the answer is by accessing our intuition and our creativity. So that's a big part of the Silva method, because in the Silva method 4-day training, 2 full days are spent on intuition. And it's the only program in the world that's scientifically proven to have a methodology on how to develop intuition just by being in the course for 4 days, and specifically on those 2 days. So intuition, so important. It's a fantastic skill. It guides your life. It helps you everywhere, in any way, whatever you're doing. So those are the 4 skills. Now, the screen's black on purpose. I'm going to talk to you quickly. Science today has proven that each and every one of us has a blueprint. And this blueprint is to do with how much money we earn, how much happiness we experience, how fulfilled we are, what's the quality of our relationships. Are they really loving, or are they very difficult. We have a blueprint, and this blueprint is also called our conditioning or our programming. Psychologists call it our paradigm. So I know your microphones are off, but if you want to switch them on, I just want to ask you some questions and you can participate. And please do participate. Where do you think this conditioning comes from? And go quickly, don't wait. Just shout out an answer. You can't get it wrong.
Your parents?
Thank you. And what age?
Probably 3 or 4.
100%. You get a prize. If I had a prize, I'd give it to you through the computer. Very good. Yes. So between age 0 and 7, in psychology, it's called the imprint phase. Now, between 0 and 7, you actually have not developed your conscious analytical mind. It's not developed. So you don't have the ability to analyze anything or reject any idea. Everything you accept straight into the subconscious mind, every single thing. So everything you hear from your parents, your primary caregivers, the school, loved ones, the media. The media is a big influence. Everywhere you go, there's the media is on somewhere. Everything goes into the child's brain, and basically the child adopts the belief of its environment. So what I'm saying to you is whatever's gone in your mind between 0 and 7 has got the deepest impression in your subconscious mind. It's formed most of your conditioning. So what I can say is you're not really responsible for your conditioning, but you are responsible for changing it, especially in the areas of your life where it's not serving you. Because some people say, oh, that's just how it was, and when I was a child and I don't have a choice and all these kind of things. No, that's not true. That's a victim mentality. We can change our programming when we know that things are not really serving us or helping us. And going through this tonight might help you understand what are your limiting beliefs or what are things that are holding you back. And you can change it. And how you change it is, well, in the Silva method, we do it at the subconscious level. So I'll explain that. So this conditioning is called a paradigm. And the paradigm, the definition is this. It's a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. Think about that. Almost all of our behavior is habitual. So we need to really create new habits, and habits are all reside in the subconscious mind. So just to help understand this, we need a kind of diagram. So this is called the stickman diagram. It comes from a wonderful Dr. Thurman Fleet. And he said, well, let's make it easy for people to understand. We all know what the brain is. It's an organ. We've seen it in picture books, that pink and gray thing. But what's the mind? The mind is not the brain. We don't know where the mind is. Is the mind in every cell of your body? Is it inside your head? Is it in the whole universe? We don't really know. So we just put this picture, or Dr. Fleet created this diagram to help it be easy. So there's no coincidence that the head is so much bigger than the body. The reason it's done like that is because actually your mind controls all your behaviors. Your body doesn't move without the mind. If you think of people who've, sorry to say this, have lost their mind, they're just sitting in a chair, they're not moving. So all the body is controlled by the mind. So let's assume the top half there, if you drew a line across, the top half is the conscious mind, and let's assume the bottom half is the subconscious mind. Well, it's a subconscious mind that controls our body, or the B could be for our behaviors, which are our body. And it's our behaviors that give us our results. So if we think about it this way, our results are caused by our subconscious programming, most of them. So my question is, what percentage of the time do you think we're on autopilot? And that means we could be doing two things at the same time. I could be talking to a friend and I can get on with life. I can cook a fried egg. I can drive a car and have a conversation. This is autopilot, how we open the garage door, how we tie our shoelaces, how we get dressed, how we brush our teeth. How much of the time do you think we're on autopilot where the body's just running behavioral programs that are already conditioned in us? What percentage do you think?
90.
100, very good. 90. spot on. You get the prize. So 90%, we're an autopilot. This is very true. Now, the subconscious mind, as I said earlier, is where all our habits reside. And remember, almost all of our behavior is habitual. It's where all our beliefs reside. What I mean is we think that many things in our life are facts, but they're actually not facts. They really are beliefs. Even the thing, I'm good at this, I'm not good at that, the abilities we think we have, they are all in the subconscious mind, ingrained in there. Our self-confidence is in our subconscious mind. Our self-worth, our self-image. Many people think they can't change their self-confidence. You absolutely can. And people have. So self-worth, self-confidence, and many more things. I'm just putting the few essentials in there. That's in the subconscious mind. So if we know that these habits and beliefs are causing our results, then my question is, if you want to change the results in an area of your life, let's talk about fitness, or let's talk about income, or happiness in career, or whatever it may be. If you want to change some results, is it more effective to use the conscious mind with effort and willpower, or to reprogram the subconscious mind, do you think?
Reprogram.
100%. Now the question is, how many times more effective do you think it is to reprogram?
Not sure.
Any guess? Doesn't matter the number. Give it a shot. How many times?
Sorry, could you rephrase the repeat the question?
Okay, so you're right to say it's more effective if you want to change results to reprogram the subconscious mind than to try to do it with your conscious mind, effort, and willpower. So I said, okay, yes, that's correct. So according to neuroscience, how many times more effective is it to actually reprogram at the subconscious level rather than trying to do it with effort and willpower? How many times more effective?
100, I'm sure.
Try more, a bigger number.
110.
More.
Wow, 150.
No, thousands.
Now I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll give you the answer. According to neuroscience, it's 30,000 times more effective to actually reprogram the subconscious mind, creating in the subconscious mind what it is that we want to achieve, what results we want to create, what fitness we want to be, what weight we want to weigh, what income we want to earn, what relationships we want to have, what spirituality we want to have, what happiness, fun, recreation, whatever it is. If we want different results, to reprogram here is 30,000 times more effective. So even think about weight loss. Actually, in the Silva method, we don't say the word loss because everything you lose, you want to find. We say weight reduction. So think about people trying to reduce weight. There are many obese people in the world. If it was so easy to reduce weight with a conscious mind using effort and willpower, we'd all be skinny and perfect shape. But the reason it's so challenging is because at the subconscious level, and this is driving 90% of our autopilot behavior. And if the subconscious self-image of being obese does not change, it's not very easy to change the behaviors that give you the result. It'll keep bringing you back to the self-image, whatever's in the self-image. So this is what it says. The paradigm, which is that subconscious programming, is a mental program. It's got almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. So really, why I'm telling you this is because the Silva method entire program of 4 days works at the subconscious level. Every single dynamic meditation is reprogramming at the subconscious level. And this is why it's so effective and scientifically proven and has a money-back guarantee and all those benefits, because we know when we program the subconscious, the results last. So even when it comes to weight reduction, people do reduce the weight, but better than that, they keep it off. They don't go back. Some people lose it and put it back on. You don't. You keep it off because your self-image, the picture of yourself in your subconscious actually changes when you reprogram at the subconscious level. So here it is. The Silva method works at the subconscious level and is a scientifically proven step-by-step program of easy-to-learn structured techniques for personal success. Health is a big deal. Mind-body healing is a big part of the Silva method, and happiness. Definitely. And happiness is something that we are in control of fully, because happiness comes from inside. It's the thoughts we have about our life. So just briefly, it's been around for over 50 years. You can see this since 1966. The only reason I tell you that is because it stood the test of time. It's all over the world. Millions have done it. And all these wonderful people did the Silva method before they were famous. So think of Dr. Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra, people like that, Louise Hay. And Wayne Dyer himself, he actually gave credit to the Silva method for unlocking his potential, for helping him heal himself from leukemia. It's one of his books, he wrote that. And it's just wonderful that these people have had such wonderful careers and been such fantastic spiritual teachers on this planet because of, you know, what they've been able to create by just unlocking more of their potential. So really what it is, it's a dynamic meditation program. And even if you don't do the Silva method, what I'm going to share with you today is I'm going to give you tips that will help you, even if you're not doing the Silva method. What I mean by dynamic meditation is you go into a meditative state and then you actively engage the mind using visualization. It's not passive meditation where you go, you're trying to clear the mind. No, we engage the mind using visualization, guided imagery, and of course, developing your intuition. So let's talk about step one, the first skill, how to stay calm and focused even under pressure. As I said, this is the most important of the 4 key skills. So let's unmute our microphones and go as quickly as we can. Everybody just shout out at the same time, don't wait. What do you think are some of the early warning signs of stress? Emotional or physical?
Anxiety.
100% anxiety, yes. What else?
Sleeplessness.
Sleeplessness, perfect. Yep, what else?
Headaches.
Mm-hmm. Headaches, for sure. What else? What are some other emotional early warning signs of stress or even physical?
Sadness.
Sadness, definitely.
Loss of confidence.
Yes, loss of confidence, then that's really difficult. Yes, and it actually makes you go further and further down. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes. What else?
Loss of focus or concentration.
Yes, your mind is not clear. You can't concentrate 100%. What else? Any more? Do you want me to help you? Okay, let me help you. Being irritable, losing your temper, being impatient. When we're overly critical, things are wrong, we don't like them, we're critical, we are often stressed. Crying too easily or not being able to cry is a sign of stress. Some people at a funeral, they will tell you, I just can't cry. Not that they can't cry, it's that they're really, really stressed. So everything gets blocked, the emotions can't flow. Or not being able to laugh. Someone tells a joke and everyone's laughing and the person goes, it's not even funny. You just can't laugh. And actually when you're very stressed for a long period of time and you actually do laugh, it's almost a strange foreign feeling. One of the worst things I think is to be overwhelmed. It's a terrible feeling. It happens to probably all of us at some stage. That's really a very, very uncomfortable feeling. And then also just being fearful. Some physical ones are, we've mentioned many of these. Forgetting is one thing. People think they have a problem with their memory. It's usually nothing wrong with memory. What happens is when we're stressed, we can't easily access our memory. Sleeping we've mentioned, headaches we've mentioned, digestive orders, yes, or stomach cramps. No tolerance to pain. So if you've got an injury or something wrong, the pain is just exacerbated. Fatigue, that's a sure sign of stress. Being tired on a Monday or Tuesday and the week hasn't even begun, it's a sign of stress. Also shortness of breath. Now, my question is, when it says behaviors, what kind of things do we consume when we are stressed?
Oh, all sorts of garbage.
Like what? Yes. Like
Food,
what?
we become addicted to things. We start searching for things that are going to heighten pleasure, such as sweets and alcohol and all that sort of stuff.
Very good. Sweets, alcohol, chocolate. What else?
Caffeine.
Caffeine, yes. What else? Smoking. Some people smoke. So we've mentioned them there. That's true. So why do we think we consume those products? What do they do?
Because we think that might make us feel better.
Actually, they do make us feel better. They make us feel better because they cause the brain to release serotonin and dopamine. They're two chemicals. The one makes you feel good and the other one makes you sleep well. So here's my first tip for you guys tonight. Did you know that deep belly breathing in the lower part of the abdomen, not in the chest, down in the abdomen, deep belly breathing is a natural antidote to stress, and it causes the brain to release serotonin and dopamine. And it's free. So it's exactly the same as what alcohol and caffeine and sugar and all those things do. So tip number 1 is meditation. To meditate daily. So do some of you meditate?
I try.
Good. Any?
Yeah. Yes. Recently, I've been somehow feeling some benefits, which are not, I can't put my finger on it, but the day I don't do any form of meditation or deep breathing, I realize it's a different day compared to when I've done something at least.
Thank you for being honest and telling us. I agree. Definitely. So for anyone listening, if you meditate daily, I bow to you. Well done and keep it up. That's awesome. If you meditate sometimes, also, that's awesome. That's fantastic. All I encourage you is to somehow, some way create a habit of doing it daily. And if anyone's listening and they don't meditate or never have, I could not encourage you strong enough to meditate. So if you don't know how to meditate or you find it difficult or something that's just so unfamiliar that you don't really know how to do it, there's a Silva long relaxation. It says sign up. That's for a presentation. I'm on the webinar. But on the website there below, Silva Method Australia, or my website, Janine Shuck International, if you go then scroll down on the home page, you'll find a place to being able to download the long relax. So the long relax is a Silva meditation. It's 26 minutes. And hear this. It's equivalent to 4 hours of natural sleep for the mind and for the body. It is so healthy. It boosts the immune system. It accelerates healing. And it absolutely dissolves stress. Because stress is chemicals, by the way. The feeling, any feeling, happy, sad, angry, frustrated, any feeling is a chemical reaction, by the way, if you didn't know that. So thought causes the brain to release something, and it causes a chemical reaction in the body, and that's the feeling. So when you meditate, you're actually dissolving these stress chemicals in your body. Now, people may say, okay, Janine, we know that everyone talks about meditation, the whole world's on the meditation bus. I'd say, okay, the truth is the biggest gap in the world is that between that which we know and that which we do. So we may know that meditation is very good for us, but it's a different thing to actually do it every day, to apply it, to use it, and to integrate it into our life so that over time you become a person who's calm and focused even under pressure. And meditation is the sure one thing that I guarantee, in fact, is the only thing I guarantee can bring a stressed person to become calm and focused even under pressure. As long as you meditate daily and keep up the practice, it might take a while, but it will get you there. So that's the first tip. Can anyone guess what are some benefits of meditation? It says alpha because when you meditate and close your eyes and you relax, your brain waves slow down and they go to about half the speed they are now, like when you're awake and talking, and it's called the alpha level. And the alpha level is the most stable brainwave state. So it's very healthy. So anyone guess what are some of the benefits of meditation?
Better intuitive connection.
Beautiful. Yes. What else?
Ability to perform under pressure without cracking.
Yes. Very good. What else?
better health and better immune system as well.
Yes, very good. You guys are doing very well. Very good. Any more? There are quite a few more.
Stress, anxiety, maybe even depression.
Definitely. What you said is very accurate. Who was that? Was that Jayanti?
Yeah, that's me.
They've actually proven that with meditation alone, people can completely overcome not only just anxiety, but depression as well. So you spot on there. So thanks for saying that. It's true. Yep. Any others? I'll show you some. So we said relieve stress. Forever Young, it says there. Did you know that if you meditated daily, every day, for more than 30 days, you would naturally lower your blood pressure, lower your cholesterol, and stabilize blood sugar?
Is there a light here?
I just want to tell you that there's one of my Silva Method graduates who was diabetic, who, taking his blood every day, and he actually normalized. He's completely free of diabetes, and he's lowered his cholesterol, and he's lowered his blood pressure by nothing more than just the Silva meditation. So it's very possible to help all those conditions without using medication. We said boosting the immune system, accelerating healing, that feeling of inner peace and harmony. Everybody wants that, and that you definitely can feel. I think one of you mentioned you feel different when you don't meditate. It's got to be something to do with that stable, centered, grounded feeling where you're feeling good. Being more focused, being more productive, being able to get more things done, having more energy. I must just tell you, I was very, very tired just this afternoon when I got home, 5:30, 6. I just laid down. I have something called the Alpha Sound from the Silva Method, and I played it for just 10 to 15 minutes, about 12 minutes. Closed my eyes. In just 12 minutes, I got up, and I promise you, I felt like I've had a night's sleep. All my energy came back. I could get up and dance now if you put music on. I'm full of energy. That's just from a little bit of meditation. It does give you energy. The other things we've mentioned there, intuition, that feeling of being in the flow state, of good luck, of things working out for you, that good synchronicity, that definitely comes from ongoing meditation. Feeling inspired, very different to taking inspired action compared to motivation, where you have to motivate yourself to do work and you've got to get things done. When you're taking inspired action, it's a different feeling. You feel very light, very easy, everything's flowing, you've got good ideas, you feel on top form. That's what I'm talking about there. And of course, creativity. So creativity and intuition require a relaxed state, and that's why meditation is so helpful there. So lots of benefits. All right, that's the tip number 1. Meditate daily. Second tip is this. Who of you have heard that words affect your brain? And if you have, what have you heard?
I think it's a lot got to do with self-talk, what you say to yourself.
100% self-talk. Perfect. So basically, self-talk reprograms us. So we spoke about programming the subconscious mind. Everything we say, and you spot on there, Jayanti, it's self-talk, and it's whether we say it out loud or whether we even think it. So this book that's written by these 2 neuroscientists, Andrew Newberg and Mark Waldman, they actually did work with Silva International. If I'm not mistaken, one of them was a Silva trainer for a while as well. They wrote this book called How Words Can Change Your Brain. It's a phenomenal book, and it really just goes to prove that the subconscious mind takes everything you say literally. It doesn't understand humor. So if you said, oh man, this thing's killing me, it's so funny, it takes it literally. This thing is killing me. It doesn't have the humor like with a conscious mind we can do. The subconscious mind takes it literally. And the reason is the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference, by the way, between imagination and reality. This is the most important thing you'll ever hear. It really is. If you're taking notes tonight, please write that down. And the reason this is so important is if the subconscious mind can't distinguish between imagination and what's real, then every time we close our eyes and visualize more success, more confidence, more health, better relationships, more income, the subconscious mind says, this is real, this is real, this is real. And the more impressions you make, it will become your life. Remember, your subconscious mind drives your behaviors, gives you your results. So that's why visualization is so effective. Now, unfortunately, on the bad side of it is everything it hears, it takes in and takes literally. So back to the stickman diagram, the conscious mind can accept or reject an idea. There's an arrow in and arrow out. If you don't like something I'm saying or don't believe it, you'll just say, Janine, I don't believe that, and you reject it. Your subconscious mind cannot reject anything. It takes everything in. It can only accept. So when we say the power of words, we're saying, hey, let's be very aware of what we're saying, even if it's quietly in our head, because this is affecting us, our health, our performance, everything. The brain takes it literally. So let's have a quick awareness now. Go as quickly as you can. Let's take about a minute and come up with all the negative phrases that you can think of that we say to ourselves. Things that are just wrong words or negative phrases. Have a go. Keep your mics open and just shout out as much as you can.
I'm really bad at this.
Perfect. Great. Another one?
I'm not good enough.
Beautiful. One of the worst things we could say to ourselves. So thank you. What else? Anything, any negative phrase we say to ourselves.
I'm not lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Any more? It's infinite what we can say. So just mention some that you aware of.
Self-doubt, self-criticism based on what other people think of you.
Yes. Every time we criticize ourselves a lot. So self-criticism is a big deal. And self-doubt is a big deal. We have a lot of thoughts of doubt. We might not say them out loud to people, but in our own mind, you're right. We're talking to ourselves and we are creating self-doubt. So thank you. That's very true. Any more? I'll show you a few. The word can't. Can't is a totally limiting word, and the effect apparently on the brain is that the minute we say I can't do something, the brain actually stops trying to find a solution. It doesn't even try. So we should never use the word can't. That's a definite word that we should eliminate from our vocabulary. And if you have children or nieces or nephews, the best thing you can do is to teach that child to never, ever, ever use the word can't. They always must say, if they say can't, they must say, I can't do this yet. But if I practice, I will. Or somehow, some way, I can do it. So can't's a negative word. Try's a negative word. It might be a bit strange to think that, but when we try, like I'll try to meet you at 7 o'clock, it means we're not committed. We're not saying I will meet you at 7 o'clock. Then things that cause miscommunication, words like never and always, these are red flags. If you're talking to someone or you're talking about yourself and you say, I never remember people's names, it's not true. It's not never. Sometimes you do. It's not that you never do, so it's exaggeration. But every time we say this, we are just affecting our own performance. Or if we say to someone else, you're never on time, it probably isn't accurate. It probably is on time sometimes. But when you say that, you put the person on the back foot, so it causes miscommunication. People just get defensive. But if you said, today you're not on time, let's say, yeah, you're right, I'm not on time today, sorry, whatever it may be. Or the word always, saying you always interrupt me, you always argue, you always leave the door open, or whatever it may be. It's exaggeration. It's not true, and it causes just that miscommunication. The word but is also a word we should try not to use if possible, because if it negates what you said before. Imagine saying to somebody, I really love you, but after saying I love you, like, do you really love them then? Because it just erases what you said. And then the big word there is don't. Every time we say that, I'll give you an example. If I say to you, don't think about monkeys wearing yellow dresses, all jumping up and down, eating bananas. Don't think of these monkeys in yellow dresses. The minute I say it, you're thinking of these monkeys wearing yellow dresses. Because when we say don't, whatever comes after that goes into the brain as a picture. We think in pictures. So when we say to someone, don't slam the door, the picture is slam the door. When we say to a child, don't mess, don't spill your drink, the picture is spill the drink. Or, whatever it may be, don't forget your cap, don't forget your bag, whatever it may be. So instead of saying what we don't want, say what you do want. So instead of saying don't slam the door, you can say please close the door quietly. So focusing on what we don't want is negative, right? Giving the wrong picture to the brain. Words like hate cause acid in the body. We should rather say we dislike. It's a much better word for us to use. Tired. When people say, how are you? Say, oh, I'm so tired. There's some people in your life, every time you ask them how they are, they'll tell you that they're tired. Now, every time we say, I'm tired, you are programming your brain and you're telling yourself to feel tired. And the more you do it, it becomes a habit pattern. So instead of saying, I'm tired, what do you want? Say what it is that you want. So when we're tired, we either want more energy or we want sleep. So rather say, I could do with some energy right now, or I could do with a good nap or a good sleep tonight. Say what it is that you want. The word should is a negative word because when we say should, it makes us feel guilty. Oh, I should have remembered to bring this or bring that. We're feeling guilty. What we could use instead is the word could, or I can, or I will. I'll remember next time, or next time I'll do whatever, but not saying should. Now here comes some really wonderful ones about the brain taking it literally. When we say something's a pain in the neck or someone's a pain in the butt, the body's taking it literally, the brain's taking it literally, and seriously, some people do actually have a pain in the neck when they keep saying this phrase, I have a pain in the neck, or this person's a pain in the neck. The phrase, I'm sick and tired of the traffic, I'm sick and tired of the rain, I'm sick and tired of my work, sick and tired, sick and tired, sick and tired. The brain takes it literally. Over 10 orders of it is going to say, right, you're not feeling well, and it's going to make you feel unwell, and then you're going to be tired and you're going to get sick. This phrase, I'm dying to go on holiday, I'm dying to go out to eat, I'm dying to go to movies, whatever it may be. That's not that's a worse thing you could say. The brain doesn't have a sense of humor. The subconscious mind takes it literally. Or say, I can't stand waiting in line, and I can't stand something. There's a lady who came to the Silva method, and when this came up, she went, oh my goodness, my whole life my mother uses that saying, I can't stand this, I can't stand that. And I use it, and she said, I've had problems with my legs my whole life. And this is about 1.5 years ago. I can tell you she's stopped using that term, and she's told me her legs are much better. She doesn't have the pain anymore. They're just so much better. And does it have something to do with it? Absolutely it does. You may think it's outrageous, but it really is true. Also the term, it's critical. Just say it's very important, because critical is what you hear in an ICU ward or in a battlefield or a war zone. Nothing is critical. It's very important is more accurate. So here's the tip number 2. The solution is called a pattern interrupter, and it's the cancel technique in the Silva method. So every time you catch yourself saying a negative phrase like, I can't learn this, you say cancel, and reframe. Somehow, some way I can learn this. Another example, I'm tired, cancel. I could do with a good sleep tonight, or I could do with more energy right now, or I'm dying to go on holiday, cancel. I really am looking forward to going on holiday. So you use cancel in your mind. Don't say it out loud. People might think that you're a little bit loopy, unless they've also done the Silva method, then you can say it out loud. But if you know each other or in your own family, share this with everyone in your household, and then say it out loud and keep each other accountable. Whenever someone is speaking negatively about themselves, can say cancel, and they must reframe. Don't just go cancel and stop. You must reframe, because when you reframe, you're building a new neurological pathway. And every time you do that with awareness, slowly that becomes your new pathway. And bit by bit, you're going to have more positive things that you're saying and thinking than negative ones. So here's an interesting statistic. We have about 70,000 thoughts a day. And they say on average, 80 to 85% of them are negative. And they go undetected by the conscious mind. So we've got a lot of negative stuff going on in our head. If we can just raise our awareness to these negative phrases and correct them with cancel, cancel, I'm telling you, my friends, this sounds like the simplest thing. It's one of the most underestimated techniques to help improve your life, because positive thoughts give positive outcomes. Negative thoughts can never fix a problem. Negative thoughts can never lead to a positive outcome. They have to come from positive thoughts and positive words. So please apply this technique. As of now, catch yourself, be very aware of what you're saying and thinking. And when you do have a negative phrase, just go cancel, cancel, and then reframe it positively. Okay. And it says better and better at the bottom. If you can use better and better, it comes from the Silva method. Well, actually, it doesn't come from Jose Silva, who's the founder. It comes from a pharmacologist from years ago called Emile Coué. And he was telling his patients to wake up every day and say 20 times, every day in every way, I'm getting better, better, and better. And he found that a group of them who asked them to do this slowly got better and better and got off their medication. It was like a permanent chronic medication. So Jose Silva adopted it for the Silva method. If you can use better and better in your reframe, use it. So if you say, I never remember people's names, go cancel, cancel. I'm getting better and better at remembering people's names. And if someone asks you tomorrow, hey, how are you? I want you to say, I'm better and better, thank you. How's the family? Better and better. How's work? Better and better. How's the business? Better and better. If you keep saying that, you just keep saying that, your life and your results and your business and your family, whatever, will get better and better. It's what we say, it's what we expect, it's how we program ourselves. Okay. Now for the second technique, how to have clear goals and achieve them faster. So we want to stay positive, motivated, and focused to achieve our goals. So here's the technique to get clear on what you want. It's called the what do I want reflection. So why I said it's a bit different to just doing this in any ordinary way to achieve your goals, what's required is find 10 or 15 minutes where you will not be disturbed, go sit in a comfortable chair, take a pen and paper with you, write down these 5 questions before you begin, and then close your eyes and take many slow, deep belly breaths and actually go into a meditation. And when you are very calm, very relaxed, peek your one eye open, read the first question, close your eye again, and ask yourself, what do I want to create? Whatever comes up for you, your first impressions, just write them down. Don't judge them. Don't question them. Just write down your first impressions. If you really do it this way, I promise you, you'll get some very interesting results. In the Silva Method class, we take 45 minutes in meditation to do this, and we ask these questions after about 25 minutes of relaxation. So we shut down that conscious mind, and when we ask these questions, they come from intuition, they come from a higher place, your higher self, and that's when you get truth and good answers for your life. So saying what I want to create is very deliberate, because we create our own reality. Why is this valuable to me? Very important. When you say why, you create purpose. You're saying a strong reason. When you got purpose, it gives you more motivation. What strengths and talents do I have? I love that. We want you to do things that you're good at, that you're strong at. No one likes to do anything we're not strong at. And you should be in this world using your talents and strengths. You absolutely should. God gave you talents and strengths, and we should be using them to really make this world a better place. So what talents and strengths do you have? And that's such a good question. When do I want to create this? Okay, that's obvious. And how does this relate to others? This is called the benefit extension factor. If you can think about how achieving your goal would benefit 1 or 2 other people in your life, it increases that sense of purpose. So really, another good question. So that's what you do to get clear on your goals. Now, how do we achieve them faster? I'm sure you've all heard about gratitude journaling. It does work. I don't know if we all practice it. Here again, what we know and what we do is a big gap. If you're not doing it, I really encourage you, do it. And if possible, I recommend at night, the last thing you do before you go to bed. Because the last thing you think about when you go to bed actually marinates in your subconscious. And also the way you go to sleep is the way you wake up. So if you go to sleep happy and grateful, you're going to wake up happy and grateful. So just write a page in a gratitude journal It helps elevate your mood. It helps you become in a state of appreciation, which is a very high vibration. And that's going to bring into your life and attract more things that you're going to be grateful for. And that's really how we do attract the results and the goals that we want. And then, of course, surround yourself with people who can support you. Everyone will tell you that, and it really is true. All right. Excuse me. Overcoming self-limiting beliefs. This is massive. Now, you can rewire yourself for success. We do this in the Silva method. It does work. So the first question is, how do I know I have a limiting belief? Well, the answer is, anytime you have negative emotion, whether that's anger, frustration, grief, guilt, jealousy, whatever, there's a limiting belief in there, either about yourself or someone else or the situation. So any negative emotion is an indicator for you that you have some limiting belief. So how do we overwrite it? Well, what we want is to create a resourceful state. That means a state of feeling like that man in the picture, like you've achieved something, like you're a winner, proud of yourself. And how we do this? Find a piece of evidence in your own life. Reflect on your own success. Think of a time in your life that was a moment of excellence or a moment of achievement for you. Then close your eyes and visualize and relive that experience until it's really so real for you, like a movie in your mind. And when you feel that wonderful sense of achievement again, that wonderful feeling of being proud of yourself and doing well, your entire body, your physiology is acting as if it's really happening. Remember, the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. It's releasing all that, those endorphins, it's releasing dopamine, it's releasing testosterone, you're feeling confident and strong. And when you like that, think of now a future goal straight away and then visualize achieving the future goal. So that's the technique. You first create a resourceful state and then you visualize a future goal. Now, just to tell you quickly, in the Silva method, when we do this exercise and you relive an experience where you achieved something, we then lock it in with something called the 3 fingers technique. I don't know if you've heard of it. It puts Silva on the map and it creates an association, like a trigger. And we say, anytime in the future, I want to think this way, feel this way, believe or behave this way. All I have to do is put my 3 fingers together and I'll feel just like this. So then when you want confidence, maybe you want to do a public speaking, maybe you want to do a presentation at work or a sales pitch, and you need more confidence and you want to feel really good about yourself, you just take a breath and put your 3 fingers together and your physiology changes. All those chemicals get released. It really is very powerful. However, if you don't have the 3 fingers technique, this that I've just mentioned does work. So use previous evidence and then visualize a future state. Okay. Step number 4, how to make better decisions and recognize opportunities. This is about accessing your creativity and your intuition. So creativity, by the way, is the skill that separates people who are good problem solvers from people who aren't. Because when we're good at problem solving, we're using creativity. So it's all related. I want you to just unmute your mics and guess. What do you think the answer here is? This is according to Harvard research. It says the 2 most effective tools for 21st century executives are, what do you think these 2 things are?
Intuition and creativity.
You got one right, intuition. The other one's not creativity. Can anyone guess what the other one is? But you are spot on that those are 2 definitely very important skills. Want to guess the other one? It's quite surprising. It came out with executives in the 21st century, but I'll put it here on the screen. Meditation and intuition. These are the 2 most important tools. And since this Harvard research was done, a university in Europe and in the UK came up with the exact same 2 things. So this is so good. And then there's Einstein. The only real valuable thing is intuition. So intuition is the most wonderful thing. It'll guide your life. The challenge is we don't really know if sometimes if this feeling we have is wishful thinking or fear or accurate intuitive insight. Which one is it? How do we know? We might get distortions, like we project our own beliefs or worries or fears onto the situation. We might have been brought up, and my example always is that we don't trust second-hand car salesmen because our parents told us that or told me that when I was a kid. So now I go and buy a car from a second-hand dealer, and just before I'm about to make the decision on the car I really want, I suddenly think, oh, it's intuition. I shouldn't trust the guy. Now, is that really intuition or is that projection? So these things distort it. So the reason that we have these distortions or challenges with intuition is because we lack points of reference. That means many opportunities to get feedback if it is intuition or not. That's what you call a point of reference. So the best way to develop intuition is to develop many, many, many accurate, verifiable points of reference. When you sense it like this, you got feedback, you were right. When you sense it like that, you got feedback, you were wrong. More and more and more and more of those, more evidence, more experience, more practice. That's how you refine your intuition. So in the Silva method, as I said, we spent 2 full days on this, and on day 4, 3 full hours, you play these intuitive games or do case working, what we call. You've got to detect things and you get feedback. And that's how you blow your socks off that your intuition, everyone's got intuition. Some people just don't trust it or they're not aware of it. Now, if you're not doing the Silva method, my advice would be aware of your hunch, of your gut feeling, of that sensing, of that knowing, and always trust it and always follow it. If it ever guides you wrong, then just reflect on that and go back and think, was that fear or was that wishful thinking? And you'll work it out. However, always trust your intuition. The more you do that, the more aware you'll become and you'll become better at it. And it really does guide your life. You know, intuition is what I call your guidance system. And I recently released this book, Living in the Flow. One of you there came, Kalyani, to my book talk, so thank you. And this is really the question that the book starts off with, is asking, why are you here? Why are you on planet Earth in the first place? What is the meaning of your life? We really need to answer this question. Otherwise, what is life about? It's just really time wasted if we don't know what is the meaning or purpose of our life. And how you would really be guided to find that? Your intuition will guide you. If you have an intention to know that you're living really your true life purpose, the right thing for you, using your talents and gifts, intuition is your greatest skill you can develop. It will guide your life, and oh yes, it will guide you to find your life purpose or bring it towards you. Okay, so that's really it for tonight. I'm just going to quickly recap and then just briefly share about the Silva method, just a slide or two. Here are the 4 key skills. Number 1, to stay calm and focused, even under pressure. Meditate daily. Use cancel canceller and reframe with a positive statement, and try to use better and better. Secondly, to get clear on your goals, do that what do I want reflection, those 5 questions, gratitude journal every night, and surround yourself with positive people that will support you. That is really important. Try to spend as little time as possible with people who bring you down. Number 3, overcome limiting beliefs. Remember, your negative feelings are an awareness of what is a limiting belief, and then to overwrite them. So I'll give you an example on this just quickly. There was a time when I was really unhappy, that time 10 years ago, and I was, if you ask me how things are going, I'd say I really hate my job. And I had this awareness then that everything I say is going to create my reality. And I thought, this is not being helpful to myself, saying I hate my job. So I said, you know what, Janine, I'm going to start saying I absolutely love my job. I love my job. I love my job. I absolutely love my job. I would say it 1,000 times a day. Everywhere I was, in a queue or on a train or on a tram or on a bus, or driving, whatever I was doing, I would just repeat it over and over. And I kid you not, 5 months later, when everything turned around for me, I did absolutely love my job. And my boss never changed, my clients never changed, my role never changed, my company, nothing changed. I changed. So that's the example. A limiting belief is any negative emotion you hold. It's just a belief. Even if you said, my relationship with this person is so bad because that person's this and this and this and this. I'm telling you, it's not a fact. It's a belief you hold. And if you tried your best to overwrite that belief and change your thinking about it, the whole relationship would change. It would, honestly would, just like that. Okay, so there's visualization is part of that. And then lastly, about intuition we've discussed. So I hope this was valuable for you. I hope you got some value out of this. And just to say, if you didn't find it helpful and you'd like to expand and develop yourself, or the next step's up to you. In the Silva method, this is what we do. We really empower you to create the life of your own design. You will get tools and techniques that you walk out the door and you're completely empowered to use them on your own. All you got to do is practice them. I'm not promising anyone a quick fix, but I am promising you, if you apply the techniques, you will have such astounding results in your life. So we learn how to manage sleep without the use of drugs, anytime, anywhere, sleeping well, waking up energized. We learn how to manage pain. There is so much about mind-body healing and improving your own health. We use dynamic meditation to get clear on our goals and to visualize our goals so that they manifest, and it absolutely works. To increase self-confidence, as I said, 2 days is on intuition. We have a technique called glass of water technique for decision-making. Improved problem-solving skills we have. We also have a life purpose exercise, which is on day 3. Fantastic. It's probably one of my most favorite days in the whole course. So you really leave there feeling more empowered, that you can trust yourself. You have more confidence in yourself. You're more hopeful. You know that you've got the tools to really change the results in your life to what you want, and you will be able to. So the courses that are coming up is September, 4 days in a row, Thursday to Sunday. The next one's in November, 2 weekends split, and there's the gap in between. So it just depends on how people's work schedules go and how much easier it is for them. And then just to mention these 2 benefits, once you've done the Silva method, you can review for free for the rest of your life, unlimited. You only pay a seat charge. No program in the world offers that. And every time you review, you just get better and better, stronger and stronger, especially the intuition part. Nancy, who works with me, she's done Silva intuition about 5 times in a year. She just kept reviewing. Every time we had a class, she just came and joined. Her intuition is off the charts now. She's developed, I can't tell you, light years ahead. And it really helps her in her life. The other thing is there's a money-back guarantee. The only condition is that you do every exercise and stay all 4 days. We also have a kids program. So if anyone's interested, it's for 8 to 12-year-olds. You've got to just call me. When I say by appointment, it's not exactly by appointment. We book the class into the school holidays, but I do need to discuss it beforehand, because one of the parents needs to be a Silva graduate before a child can go. And the only reason is we want to support them. Okay, so that's really the end for tonight. This quote of Jose Silva, the founder of the Silva method, is so true. The greatest discovery you'll ever make is the potential of your own mind. When you can learn how to focus your mind and use it in a focused way and develop your intuition, develop your imagination, and just using more of your mind, there is really no limit to what you can do. You have infinite potential, unlimited potential. It's been proven. Even Maslow proved it years ago. So that's it from me tonight, folks. Yep, that's it. I'll leave you on that slide. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got value out of it. And if you just want some regular tips, yes, you can connect with me on Facebook or Instagram. We put stuff up there every day, short videos or just quotes and things, just to, keep a person engaged and inspired. So thank you otherwise for joining. I'll stop the recording so we can say goodbye.